As Oklahoma ushers in the severe storm season, many people are more anxious than usual because of the devastating tornadoes that struck El Reno, Moore, and the Shawnee area last year. In Moore, 24 people were killed and nearly 400 injured when an F5 twister ripped through the area. This year, sales of storm shelters and safe rooms have skyrocketed in Oklahoma. And if you're thinking of purchasing one, there are some safety issues to consider.
It's continuing to track straight east, and as you can see, this thing hasn't decreased in size any. And I'm actually kind of getting a little closer than I want to be to it right now, but this thing is sucking us in.
It was one of the most powerful tornadoes to ever hit the state. When the twister swept through Moore on May 20th, it left a path of destruction so wide it looked like the area had been bombed. The monster EF5 tornado had wind speeds estimated at more than 200 miles per hour. Like everyone, Broken Arrow resident Marie Calico was horrified.
With the Moore tragedy, and I watched the whole thing unfold, I was like scared to death.
Even before the Moore twister, Calico would wake up her son and head for a place that was below ground level.
Every time there was bad weather, we'd go up to my work and get into P2, parking 2, and just stay there for like a couple hours because I was so deathly scared.
But this year, she will not need to leave her home. All she has to do is open this door. Calico had a safe room installed in a bedroom closet in her home this year.
Realistically, in the middle of the night, am I really going to want to go out into the garage? You know, am I really going to be wanting to get my son up and my husband up and go out there? I thought, I wanted to just be convenient. And I thought it just makes sense because I'd use it more often.
She bought her safe room at a company that's a member of the National Storm Shelter Association, or NSSA.
It's so important because the industry is not regulated and anyone can sell anything and call it anything they want. People that make septic tanks decide they're going to dig holes in the ground and bury the septic tank and call it a storm shelter. And some of them might be okay, but some of them might not.
Leslie McGee and her husband opened Tornado Alley in 2011. She says FEMA has construction criteria on its website which, if followed, will have a high probability of protecting someone from injury or death. But McGee warns FEMA does not inspect or certify safe room construction. To be a member of NSSA or the American Tornado Shelter Association, a producer must pass several requirements. One includes physical testing of storm shelters and safe rooms at an approved testing facility. Tornado Alley had its shelter tested at Texas Tech University. Such testing will assure the safe room meets or exceeds FEMA standards, according to Kelly Kane, who is the Public Information Officer for the Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management.
And the things that they're testing for are whether or not the safe room will stand up to 250 mile per hour winds, and they also check to make sure that the safe room would stand up to debris that hits the safe room at that wind speed.
Kane says there are no state or federal inspections of safe rooms. She recommends people check the FEMA website to find out whether the safe room they are thinking about buying meets the federal standards last updated in 2008.
So what they can do in order to make sure that that company is meeting those standards is they can ask to see their blueprints or their architectural drawings, which would actually state that they meet the standards by the builder.
A safe room can cost anywhere from $2,500 to more than $8,000. The Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management offers a safe room rebate program, which gives a maximum of $2,000, not to exceed 75% of the actual cost of the safe room. The money comes from a FEMA grant. 500 rebates are given out each year through a random process, but 30,000 people are on the list. Those who sign up remain registered for a rebate and have a chance to be chosen each year. After last year's deadly Moore tornado, Marie Calico says the $3,500 she paid for her safe room was well worth the peace of mind she has this year.
And so now it's like I'm ready for the weather. I don't want any tornadoes to come this way for anybody, but I mean, living in Oklahoma, you know that there's going to be tornadoes. So now when there's bad weather, I'm just comfortable.
If Calico moves, the room can be dismantled and set up in another residence. And if a tornado does strike and debris blocks the door, she and her family can still get out.
And we've got like a little wrench that we can unhook any panel and be able to get out. So it's like if we're barricaded in the front door, we can go through another panel and get out. So that's a great safety feature.